Hello, this is Dr. Bettina here from Nip in the Bud. We had a letter from the mother of an 11-year-old who's having issues with anxiety and other mental health challenges. She says she's worried about her and would like to get her help and support, but the daughter is absolutely clear she does not want to see a therapist due to some kind of stigma. So the mom is asking if we have any suggestions. Now, I first of all wanted to say that I think it's incredibly hard in this situation when your child is suffering and you want to get them some help and they say they don't want the help. So I have a lot of empathy for this parent, but I do have some ideas about what we might do to help. So as a parent, I think we must remember that we're always doing two very important things. One is to hold our kids' emotions, listen and validate how they're feeling. And the other one is to stay in overall charge, stepping in when we need to and ensuring that they're safe. And they need us to play both of these roles in their lives. And with this in mind, the first thing I would ask this parent to do is to try to assess as objectively as they can how significant these anxiety or mental health difficulties are. And we do this by looking at impact. Is it stopping them from doing things in their lives? We want young people to be doing the following: to be sleeping, to be eating, to be exercising. We want them to be spending time with their friends, time with their family, and to be able to be reasonable in their behavior towards other people. Doesn't mean they don't ever get angry, but their behavior is kind of within reasonable realm of acceptability. So if they are still able to take part in these things in their life, then there's a lot that you can do as a parent, and you don't necessarily need a therapist. So if that is the case, the first thing that we can think about is psychoeducation. And what that means is learning as much as you can about what you can do to support your young person. So, for example, with anxiety, there's a lot that we can do to shift things. And there are some great books and resources that are available for parents. Um, for example, anxiety pushes for avoidance. If we're frightened of something, we want to avoid it. We don't want to do it. And sometimes as a parent, we can join in and we accommodate when it's not actually helpful for them in the long run. So they say, I don't want to order the food, you order the food. So we order it for them. Or they say, I can't go to that class, or I can't do that reading, it's too hard for me. So we write a letter and we make excuse for them. Now, it gives them short-term relief and it feels like to some degree we're helping, but actually it's not helping in the long run. What we've done is we've been pulled in to the anxiety or mental health difficulty in that situation. So as a parent, try to read as much as you can and try and work out, are there some things I'm doing that actually are unhelpful and maybe are maintaining the symptoms? It's always important, as I say, to talk about emotions at home, model that for your children. You want to give them the message that there are ups and downs in life. All of us struggle with our mental health sometimes. It's not something to be ashamed of. And you want to talk positively about therapy. Tell them stories about how it's helped people. Maybe it's helped you. We never want to threaten therapy if somebody has behaved badly, or laugh at anybody who's had some therapy themselves. So that would be things that you can do if your assessment says that their anxiety or mental health difficulties are not so significantly impacting their life. Now, if they are having a significant impact on their life, and what that means is that they're not able to take part in aspects of their life, this has been going on for at least 2 weeks or more, then I think we need to say, actually, I've got to do something. You do need to step in. That's the being in overall charge that you have to do as a parent. And when you do this, always start with curiosity. And I would really want to know from this young person, like, what feels hard for them? And you say to them, look, I'm not here to persuade you in this conversation, at least. But what I want to know is I want to understand a little bit more about what feels so threatening for you about therapy. Maybe she holds some ideas that you go to therapy if you're in trouble. Maybe she's heard about a friend of hers going to therapy and had a horrible experience. What is it? So really trying to be curious and understand. So you'd say to her that I don't want you, I'm not here to try and persuade you to go to therapy, but I'm trying to understand more about why you don't like the sound of it. Now, maybe traditional therapy is not for her, but I think the message that you have to give in this situation is that we have to do something. We can't allow anxiety and mental health difficulties to be in charge of your life or my life. And then you give them some options. Therapy is one of those options. Maybe there's somebody at school they want to talk to. Maybe you say, look, you tell me who is a person of choice for you to go and talk to about this. And then maybe give them a time scale. They say, I want to do X. You say, okay, you try X. Let's check in a week or 2 weeks' time. If things have not improved, then we need to go and see the GP. Now, the GP is always a great port of call because that means you're taking it outside of the family, you're getting an assessment by an expert, and then they also can tell the young person, look, this is not okay to live like this, or tell them what the options are, and therapy will be one of the options, I would imagine. But the truth is that therapy actually is far less likely to be effective if someone is forced to go. Therapy is actually about a relationship between two people. And actually, the person who's having the therapy needs to want to change. So it's quite a tricky one. But I think the message is we have to do something. We can't just sit here and allow the emotions and the anxiety to be in charge. I think it's really important that we always give our kids the idea, or we let them know that humans are not built to cope alone. You know, some people, sometimes young people, can think that they can just keep their feelings inside. And if they hold on tight enough, the feelings will go away. And generally, that does not work. We have to talk things through with people. So, as a parent, when we need to be courageous enough to say to them, look, we've got to find somebody for you to talk to. Because that's what we have to do as human beings. You know, we can't cope alone. This kid is on the brink of adolescence, and we know when the teenage brain kicks in, which is around the time of puberty, feelings are more, they're greater. So young people feel things more significantly. So it could be that anxiety she had before she could cope with, but now it's feeling much more overwhelming. So really good luck with this. It's a very tricky situation. Stay strong, stay kind, be curious, and I hope those tips are helpful. And if you have any other questions for us at Nip in the Bud, please drop us a line and we will do our best to answer them.